Welcome to tonight's Trisbrina Show, and this show is called Strength on Demand. And if you're an adult, ages 40 and up, who's become a little less active than you should be, then this show is here to inspire you and guide you.
Yep, because today we're going to be exploring the S.A.I.D principle, S-A.I.D, which shows you how you can transform your body and get amazing results through specific, consistent exercise. But not just any exercise. We're going to get into the specificity of it.
And we'll dive into what is that S.A.I.D, S-A.I.D principle. So by gradually increasing the demands you place on your body, you can regain strength. You can get strength that you've never had. You can improve your endurance and feel more energetic, regardless of your age. And we'll also discuss the importance of staying active to maintain the gains that you make.
All right. Let's get ready for a fun and motivational journey tonight as we reclaim our strength and vitality at any age.
Strength on Demand. I really love that title for tonight's show because it really is the truth, right? Strength, you don't get strength like on accident. I guess some people do if you have a particular job, but really there is strength. You get strength every time you stand up and sit down. But I think in order for everyone to get the most out of the show, some people may not be familiar with the S.A.I.D principle. So why don't we
unpack it?
Unpack it. I was just going to use an amateurish word like define, but we can.
You've got to be more hip.
Unpack.
Today, the cool kids say unpack.
Unpack.
That's right. So let's unpack it. All right.
What's the other thing they say?
They say a lot of cool things that we don't even know. Like Debunking used to be new, but now that's like so passe. Okay. Specific adaptation to imposed demand.
That's S-A.I.D. Specific adaptation to imposed demand.
Yeah, it's a concept used in exercise science and physiology to help people understand how important it is to do the right things in the right way to get the results that you want. So specific, I think that's pretty clear. You have to do if you're a runner, and you want to get better at running, you're not going to do swimming exercises to get better at running. It has to be specified to the task at hand. So that's the first one.
Yeah, and I think it really is drawing from the incredible human body. This incredible human body that does respond specifically to what we ask of it, right? If I'm walking around at 100 pounds, my body responds to that. If my body gets to be 200 pounds, it will respond to that and do what it needs to do to hold that. It keeps doing what we ask of it. If all of a sudden, sometimes let's say, Donna, you hurt an ankle, and maybe for a while you're on crutches and you can only use one leg. That leg all of a sudden gets really strong, gets really used to doing all the work because it's been asked, you specifically asked that, and it had to adapt.
Hey, you're moving on to number 2 already. Oh. I'm kidding. Yeah, exactly. You said adapt. So whatever we specifically impose, we're going to adapt to that information. So biomechanically, your body is so intelligent. So whatever information you're specifically giving it, it will adapt. And then, of course, imposed is you're doing this on the regular. And you're saying, I want this from you, body. I impose. Sounds like such an intense word. But you're imposing, you're placing this request upon the tissue.
And it almost can feel like a habit because this can work for you or really against you. So it working for you, let's say that I'm going for walks, and we'll get more specific about movements, but let's say I'm going for 20-minute walks every single day. Well, an imposed demand would be, well, what if I put on a backpack and put 2 water bottles back there so that I'm carrying 5 pounds of weight? Or if I wore a weighted vest, or if I sped up and did it in a shorter amount of time, or if I took longer strides than normal. Like there's all these ways to ask my body to do more. And the first time you do it, the body's like, what? And then you ask it again and you ask it again, and it becomes the normal. And that's the adaptation part. But wouldn't the same be true if all of a sudden I was walking 20 minutes a day and I decide to sit on the couch and eat Fritos for those 20 minutes?
Fritos, is that like Cheetos but different?
I like Fritos better. Right? So instead of moving, you're removing movement. Right? So it's also going to
It applies to the positive and the negative.
To that. Right? So your body's not going to stay the same as it did when you were walking 20 minutes a day, or then when you added weights, which is very, very necessary, right? To add difficulty and stress. It won't maintain that if you don't continue to ask that of it.
So you have to be consistent. So I think the S.A.I.D principle, it's almost like the law of attraction. It's always on.
Yeah.
It's never not happening, right? So if you're doing a particular thing on a regular basis, you are training the body. If you're specifically saying, move this way, move with a little shuffle in your step, walk with a limp, guard that knee, that shoulder, you're imposing a demand.
Yep.
On that tissue, on that motor skill, on that pattern, and it will stick. In the law of attraction, we often hear people say, what you focus on expands. It's the same thing with the S.A.I.D principle. Whatever you're doing, that's what you're getting more of. So this, I think, helps us to say, let me take a look at what I'm doing and make sure that is specifically what I should be implementing to get the results that I want.
Yeah, because these ideas have been handed down to us from generations, the ones I'm about to talk about, and these limited beliefs that as we get older,
Gotcha.
you will get weaker and you will get slower. So if you have been told that and that's what you've seen, you'll actually start to adapt to that. Because your subconscious will start
You'll take it on as true and true. Yeah.
So when I was in my 20s and I chassed right off of the stage and sprained my ankle, I was actually in my 30s, I was like, oh man, my ankle's hurt, right? My ankle's hurt. What am I going to do to heal it? Oh, okay, I'm going to do ice, I'm going to do some rest, and then I'm going to do some
Because you had the belief system
therapy.
that if you did those things, it would heal.
Yeah, that's what you do when you get hurt, right? If your kid breaks an arm, you're going to do what you need to do to let the body heal. But we stop thinking that way. Most of us, you're jogging in your 40s, 50s, 60s, and you sprain an ankle. What are you going to hear? Oh, little old for that running stuff, aren't you? Your bones are a little weaker. You really shouldn't be jogging. It's bad for your knees. What is all that? Who says? Right? Maybe it was what it says is, oops, my foot slipped, and this is life telling me that, I should probably do some activities to make my bones stronger. There are things that you can do to make your bones stronger at any age, and the body will continue to heal forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. If you look at some villages throughout the world, there are people, grandparents working, carrying the grandkids, carrying the water. They are still working for the village and the tribe. They don't have those same beliefs that a lot of us have.
It's true.
It's true. Even I'm looking at a note.
I see that.
Yeah, and we were talking about some things that happened to us. I just mentioned my ankle, but about your back. Just talking about like ways that the S.A.I.D principle has worked in our lives that you can say, oh my gosh, that's true. When that happened, I got stronger. When that happened, I got faster. Oh, when that happened, I actually stopped doing those things and I never got back to it. Therefore, I'm weaker now. With Tristan's back, they put him in a girdle. Am I getting ahead?
No, I'm just listening.
Okay, they put him in a girdle and a brace, and so he couldn't use his core at all for months, right?
Yeah, months. It was a long time.
And then when he finally took it off, he had atrophy. He didn't have the ability to use his core because the body had adapted. There was no demand being put on it. The brace is going to hold everything in place. So you're not asking your body to do it.
So let's dive into why are we even talking about this S.A.I.D principle tonight? Like, what's the purpose of this acronym? So as we are maturing, and if you saw our recent show, we said, and we really think this is not only cute but true, we don't age, we sage in this community. And sage is a beautiful word for maturing consciously, right? And the word mature has different connotations on it. Like you were referring and referencing, oh, when you get older and you get an injury, people start saying, got to be more careful. Or there's all this narrative out there about aging that's negative. Mm-hmm. And we want to debunk a lot of that. We want to prove that it's not true. We also, for ourselves, selfishly don't want to age. We want to sage. And we want to do it with you, with our community. And we want to hold the space for our community to thrive. And so when we do these shows, we're here to inspire you and give you constructs and concepts that help you go, got it. Yep, that makes sense. Yeah, I'm going to shift that limiting belief. And we felt that the S.A.I.D principle was a really good way to kick off the show because it demonstrates the importance of the way that you're training and the way that you're thinking. So specific, adaptation, imposed, demand. That's what we're talking about tonight. And we're talking about how do you train in a way that gets you the results that you want as you mature. And I think your thinking has to mature. That was a very mature thing that person said. That was a very mature way of thinking. And so we want to mature our way of thinking. And we don't believe that you have to get old and decrepit. We know that the body is a genius organism that can produce healthy, new, fresh stem cells. It can replenish you. It can rejuvenate you. It can recharge you. The body is a self-regenerating healing machine if you keep this thing in the right zone. So this information is literally, it's energy that's vibrating a certain way. And so we have a certain frequency right now that we're in this age of being in our 50s and 60s, that we want to spread the word. Hey, y'all, we do not have to get old and weak. We don't have to get weak bones. We don't have to lose our balance and fall. We don't have to have sarcopenia and age-related muscle loss. We can do things in a specific way. We can impose a specific demand, and we will adapt in the way that we want.
Yep.
So we have exercises and constructs and concepts and stories for you tonight to inspire you to take care of yourself and sage over age.
Yeah. Like, I love that he brought up balance and falling. We gave a statistic in a show the other week. It was that at the age of 65 and older, 1 in every 4 people in the United States fall down, causing them to go to the emergency room. Costs of about $35,000 a piece, and that is usually a domino effect, because when someone falls and then maybe a body part gets broken, a body part gets injured, then they're not able to move, and then from not moving, the body responds. There are no demands being put on it. The digestion may suffer. The weakness may suffer. But what we are here to say is we can get strong and stay strong. You need to be strong just to function in life. Get in and out of your car. Get on and off the toilet. Sit down. Get up. Carry your groceries.
Oh, but my knees hurt. I can't bend.
Because you haven't been. And another reason the mindset is so important is that form.
Like technique form?
Technique and form is so important when you're trying to get strong, because it may seem like, I was talking to my Satori Strong class this week, that I'm only working on, let's say, my shoulder strength, but in only working my shoulder, I'm working my core, I'm working my glutes, I'm getting stronger in my legs, I'm working my balance, especially when things are circular. And by training and learning to move with resistance, little tiny weights on one leg, don't you think that's going to be helpful if I ever lose my balance? I know how to be on one leg. I know how to move in weird ways on one leg. So we are training in our sessions, not just for the sessions, but to bring that over in life so that we're stronger in life.
Amen. And you're one of the strongest people that I know. And you're itsy bitsy tiny little thing. But you should see the guns on this chick. I mean, but she lifts light weights.
These are guns.
Those are her guns. No, seriously, you have a lot of muscle. When I hold somebody, when I give her a hug in the morning, I'm like, it's solid muscle. It's all muscle.
Other people say that. It's just kind of funny. Like, we actually were having our photo shoot a while back, and the photographer hugged me, and he's like, that's not what I was expecting. I expected by the look of your face that you would be like soft and squishy.
Because you got your coochie cheeks. No, seriously. Her body is lean and strong, and you don't have to lift heavy weights. Sometimes I hear a cop out like, oh, I don't want to lift heavy weights. You know how hard it is to put muscle on your body? You actually have to really train a lot and lift heavy weights. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, like I actually wrote it down. Some of the things that I love about what we do is I at this point in my life, I find the gym experience undesirable for me. I don't feel like putting on exercise clothes and driving in traffic to run around and wait in line for equipment and stuff and finish and be sweaty and have to drive home. I like that what I do, and I love the results that I get, is by the time I would have driven, I can kind of be done and already have the results and get on with my day, and I can do it in the privacy of my home, and I don't need a lot of equipment. I have a stack of dumbbell weights that are like 3, 4, 5, and 6.
It's a little dumbbell tree with a few weights on it.
It's intention and form, doing things correctly, and doing moves that are not like, we do not move in life like a robot. So you want to train with circular movements and flowing movements that more imitate function. You need to be strong and fit and functional.
Yeah. Now, we've been teaching and preaching energy for decade, plus 15 years. And then we've been teaching fitness and dance and martial arts for 40 years. That doesn't include our time practicing. So obviously it's our life, it's our lifestyle, and it's what we do. But when we launched all of our Qigong programs, which so many of you who are here live or watching the replay, you came to this work because you love energy and you love the approach of using energy for healing. Mm-hmm. But once you've healed, you can now continue to grow and get stronger and stronger and stronger as you sage.
And they can happen simultaneously.
Well, that's where I'm going. Then what we found was you can marry the two together. Yeah. Because just like with, hey, look, I got my pendant back. Just like with yang, strong, masculine energy and that feminine, gentle, soothing yin energy I was just talking about, like the energy and the qi, you can bring them together. And so when you're lifting weights or doing circles or balancing on one leg, you can still be flowing your qi.
Stretching. Mm-hmm.
We call it QiPower flow because it's a powerful energy, but you're flowing it at the same time. Mm-hmm. When you do that with the strength training and the balance work that we're talking about, we think we've got something very unique and very different and very kind of freaking cool.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's not linear, boring. It's so cool. It's got agility. It's got balance. It's got coordination.
It's doable.
It's flowy. It's really cool and different. And so we're super stoked about all these conversations we're having because we want to now bring that more to our community. Some of you guys have come to some of our our 5-day energy events or our 3-day Alive and Thrive events, and you've done some fitness fusion with us, or you've done some in the dojo, or you had a sampling of something we call Qigong Strong. What if we told you, we're going to dedicate a full 2 days to doing this work and getting super strong and teaching you all of our new routines, and there are 8 of them. And I just got the music today.
Yes, we're going to offer a 2-day live virtual weekend. Qigong Strong, I like to call it the Get Strong, Stay Strong virtual weekend. And you can attend live with us. It's June 22 and 23 of the year 2024. And we'll go for about 6 hours. And don't worry, you won't be exercising the whole time. But we can also see you, those of you who attend live, so we can check your form. But in the process of teaching Qigong Strong, which is the first time that we've really let this, we don't put cats in a bag, so I'm not going to let a cat out of the bag
You're going to let
This is the
doves
first
fly.
time we've taken the ring out of the box and really shared this unique approach creation that really combines all of the flowing movements with resistance training. Why resistance training? For your bone density, for your muscle mass, so you can keep walking up and down the stairs.
Bending, squatting, painting the fence.
With balance. They are all blended together. And as we teach you Qigong Strong, we're going to teach it in ways where right there in front of you, we're creating short, like 10-minute routines, because when you register, you get the recordings. You don't have to attend live, so that you can go back and do these whenever you want. You should be doing one. I do something every day, and I think it would be great, and I highly suggest that everyone does something every day. This would be the best thing to do every day to get strong and stay strong. Whether it's a day that you're focusing on strong hips and legs, or a day that you're focusing on shoulders and flexibility, or you're focusing on balance. If you have more than 10 minutes, you can do 3 of them at a time. But if you've worked with either of us, we are all about technique and form and training so that you absolutely get the most out of everything that you do. Because the S.A.I.D principle, we're going to go back to that, you get really good at what you do on repeat. That means if you move and train with poor posture, you're going to get so good at bad posture. Mm-hmm. And if you move and train in ways that aren't effective, that's what you'll get. But if you move knowing where your intention is and where your shoulder is and where your foot is, and you train with that imposed demand, the results are guaranteed. They're guaranteed. The body will adapt to that and get stronger and be able to do all of those things.
Absolutely. You know, the formula that we came up with just happened over the years of training and exploring new ways of moving. Right? We were exposed to the traditional pump, iron, step up and down on a step, a lot of the linear, but Sabrina always loved dance and turning and swirling, and I loved all the intricate, cool moves of martial arts. So our bodies were always thirsty for dynamic movement. We never were able to be completely satisfied with just linear type movement. But linear can be good. There are times for linear movements.
Yeah.
But when you blend them with the circular strength and the balance and the agility that comes from working with one leg and challenging your brain, but when you marry it with the chi and the breath and the intention and connecting to your higher power, it's this gorgeous fusion that we call Qigong Strong. So we're super excited about it because it's our creation. It's something that came through us, and we get to do it together, which is really fun for us. It's not just, Tristan doing the Qigong or Sabrina doing a dance class. It's the blend of us. So you could call it Trisbrina Strong.
No, it's Qigong Strong. Another thing that I love about it is because of the fluidity of the movements and the circles, we stay so flexible. It's not causing, like sometimes when people do something to get strong, they get strong and short muscled and stiff. I think what I love about this is I prefer long, lean, flexible muscles, strong, fluid. For me, graceful. And it feels good to do it. I love that it can feel so creative and so artistic, and the time just flies when you do it.
So we want to specifically impose and demand that you adapt to doing Qigong Strong as your new fitness regime forever and ever and ever.
Well, no one else is doing this.
Now, we're very excited to invite you, and our goal is to send you an email on Monday with all of the information and the page where you can read and see what we've been up to. We've been putting this together for a very long time. So
if you're watching this on replay, the link for details may be in the description.
Yeah, we'll put it in there as soon as the page is ready.
Oh, and hint, there's a super early bird special where it's over 60% off. So definitely, if you're coming, register as soon as you can.
We're going to be on Zoom live, virtual. Like Sabrina said, you don't have to attend live. Everything will be recorded. But the routines have really awesome, amazing music. And we'll have it professionally edited when it's done. So not only will you get all the cool training, over the weekend, we love to break down the techniques for you like a private lesson, explain why we're doing what we're doing and how they help your body and what is the benefit of each movement so that you're motivated to do them. But then once you know all of that private lesson, you really just need the routines, the follow-alongs. And so those will be produced as well, and they'll be packaged together so you can easily do this. And you can mix things up for the years to come and create your own routines from all the playlists that we'll provide.
And of course, there'll be an educational component, because when your brain understands what you're doing and why you're doing it, you're going to get better results. There's going to be a training on what are all the things we do around the house where, without adding any time to our schedule, we could do it like this for more balance. We could do it like this to get
Things
stronger.
sitting
We
on
could
the
do
couch,
it like
things
this.
standing brushing your teeth. Like you can sneaky.
Yeah, a whole training on like sneaky ways to put your strength training in. And then there's also going to be a bonus for people who are on the healing journey, where maybe there's just days, you know what, I have to stay seated in a chair.
We had that happen in class the other day. Somebody said that they had to sit down to do, and it also happened in our standing meditation class today. I think it was Deb McMasters. Wasn't it you today? I think you're still here. That you said that something was going on with the legs, but you were able to still do everything sitting. So we'll have modifications for you as well.
And because my dad, my 86-year-old father, has some mobility issues, and so it's been kind of fun to see how these routines and these movements from a chair are helping combat sarcopenia, rebuild the muscle so he can still get up and down out of a chair, in and out of a bed. And you know, when you stop being able to do things like walk up and down stairs, and why does that happen? Because we stop lifting our knees. So it is the S.A.I.D principle. So if we do the things that we want to do in life, but we actually add a little stress to it, which means maybe make it a little faster, make it a little higher, make it a little lower, hold some weights, reach a little bit more, think about that's adding stress, so that we keep getting stronger, because the brain adapts, then that transfers over into life, and you have such a better quality life. And really, when you hear those people saying, oh, you know, you're however old, you know, you're in your 60s, should you really be lifting weights? You should say, yes, they should be bigger than I'm lifting right now, and where are yours? Right?
Well, let's finish with a little bit of mindset for inspiration. So we said strength on demand. So we were playing off of, the S.A.I.D principle, specific adaptation to an imposed demand. But strength on demand for us is, number one, you've got the right mindset that says, not a demand from a heavy place, but I expect this of myself. It's sort of like, it's non-negotiable at this point that I will do my training. It's how I love and respect my body. And I get strength on demand, because there's nothing blocking me from having that in my life.
Yeah.
Not a negative thought, not somebody, not that I don't have the equipment and I can't drive somewhere. There are no excuses. We can sage together. So we can have strength on demand. It's like, put the quarter in, you get strength out.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be hard. The only piece that blocks is this, the negative narrative that's running around in society that says that it's a certain way, or that's already infected you, because it infected me. Sabrina and I were talking about this the other day. This will be my last part to tonight's show. We were walking, I was hobbling through a parking lot in one of those mini mall type of shopping, what do you call that, where it's a row of stores. It's not a big mall. Is it a mini mall?
Strip center.
Strip center, thank you. We were in a strip center.
Not a strip club.
Nope, never been to a strip club together. I have a funny strip club story, and it has nothing to do with strippers, but that's for another day. Okay, so we were walking through the strip mall, and I was shuffling along. This is during the severest part of my back injury, where I was super depressed.
What, on like Brody?
Maybe, probably South Brody. And we were walking by a furniture store. and I saw all these big lazy boy chairs. And I said, let's go inside and take a look. And they've come up with these chairs now with a remote control, and it goes all the way up and meets you when you're standing. And then you just lean back, and then it sits you down. I'm not judging if somebody has one of those. That's where I was at. I was like, I think I need this. Yeah. I had such a hard time getting up and getting down, and I was about ready to do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was you or if it was me, and I just was like,
I was there.
I can't do it because something in my psyche said,
because it's too expensive.
They're not cheap, but that's not it. It was like I would have been quitting on myself, my belief that that's my future, that I'm going to have a chair that gets me up and down.
And of course, there may be times in people's life where they're injured, going through mode. Something or something where we're not anti anything.
No.
It's just...
This is my story. Mm-hmm. This is about my mindset. Yeah. And this is about me seeing that part of all the things I was hearing from doctors and other people. And this is why I'm bringing it up, because it's what's going on in here that will determine what's going on in your physical manifestations. Yeah. So I said no. And I'm so glad I said no, because it was a part of me holding on to that shred of, I can find a way. I can empower myself. Anyway, keep those thoughts in check.
Yeah.
That say, I can't do it. I'm getting old. Mm-hmm. It's just the way it is. Check it. Check it at the door, and don't let it get the better of you.
Well, I have that because if you don't know, we were in a car accident, hit head on. We were in the back seat of a cab, and I lost, my legs got bent back. This was in 2009-ish, 2010. Anyway, I don't have any cartilage below one kneecap at all, and hardly any on the other. So when it first happened, the doctor told me to only bend my legs to a 30-degree angle. And then I would bend them a little bit more, but I actually, except when I was dancing, I was very careful of it. And I noticed that then when I would try to squat down to maybe like a 90-degree, it would sting at the kneecap. And so my choice is to say, oh, I'm never going to do that again, or to say, ooh, here's what I said. I need to get my hips stronger and my glutes stronger, my quadriceps and hamstrings, so my knees aren't holding so much of the weight, which is what one physical therapist told me. And I need to get my quads strong enough so that I can sit back more when I squat instead of leaning forward and pushing into the knee. But I had actually gotten weaker because of an injury, and then I hadn't taken the steps to regain the strength and actually needed to get stronger now because of that situation. And it's just even been in the past year that I've been consciously saying, you know what, I'm going to start squatting lower and get stronger legs now that I'm getting older, right? Because we need to be stronger muscles and stronger bones. Here's the way I see it. Something happens in life and you need to be strong. And you're like, come on, strength. Well, that's like opening the refrigerator and saying, I want a meal, but you didn't put any food in there, right? So every time we move, every time we train, we're working the balance, we're doing the weights, we're doing the Qigong, especially when we're blending them together with the QiPower flow, you're stocking the fridge with pre-made meals. Your fridge is stocked. So in that moment in life where, oh, I need to balance, oh, I need to pick that up, oh, you need help, oh, I need to carry that, my fridge is stocked.
You're ready to go.
I'm stocked with strength.
Yes, you are.
It's there. You put it there. You are storing it. And guess what? When you use it, you have to keep refilling the fridge. And it becomes a part of life. It's who we are. It's what we do.
Yeah.
And I always say this because I'm so grateful for this. Is it really that much to ask? Is it really that much for me to move some weights around in a particular way and then feel like I worked out? No, I did some things and now my body is going to do this miracle. my brain's going to go, whoa, that chick is moving things with her arms that are heavy. I'm going to make her bones stronger. I'm going to
specific adaptation
I'm
to
going
an
to
imposed
make her muscles
demand.
stronger. She needs to be more flexible, and the body does it for me while I sleep. Everything is taken care of for us. It's not very much that we just do this little bit.
I'm going to just riff on S.A.I.D as another acronym from my own brain, as a specific adaptation to an inspired desire. So I desire something in my physiology, in my life, because I'm inspired. I want it. I desire it. I'm going to go and I'm going to be specific about what I do, and my body will adapt. So find the inspiration. Find that intentional desire, that inspired desire, and come join us at Qigong Strong.
Yep.
It's coming up. We'll be emailing you, and we'll put the link above in all the socials. So
Tracy, thanks for that. Actually,
Yeah,
I
very
was
cool
just
ideas.
looking at a marathon runner. She started running marathons in her 70s, Harriet Thompson, and continued into her 90s. Says her story exemplifies the said principle as she progressively trained her body to handle the demands of long-distance running. Starting in her 70s and well into her 90s, she completed marathons despite undergoing radiation treatments for cancer, showing remarkable resilience and adaptation to her training routine.
Remember the power and fortitude of these beautiful bodies. Don't let anything stop you from having the healthy, fit, vital body that you deserve.
Yeah. I want to share one more example. I think these are inspiring. Astronauts go to space. There's no gravity. They get back to Earth. Their bones are weak. Their muscles are weak. Why? Gravity is an imposed demand that we get to resist and fight, and helps us.
That's why you can squat.
Yeah.
Gravity.
We are working, gravity is helping us stay strong all day long. We actually use gravity in our programs because you can increase the intensity.
Called body weight resistance.
Right, so when the astronauts get back, they have to start training and rebuild their muscles and rebuild their bones because of that extended period of time and space. They haven't had that demand, and it goes away. So it's not about, you know what, I'm gonna do something for my strength for 3 months, and then it's not like winning a ribbon and then you stop. It's part of your life. It's something, set aside at least 10 minutes a day.
Yeah. We'll give you 10-minute routines. All right. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend or week and weekend. If it's date night for you, have a wonderful date. Go date yourself. Date your sweetheart. Date your puppy. And we'll see you on the next Trisbrina Show.
Here, give me a muscle, even though you can't see it.
It's in there.
Mine's in there.
Yeah, you got the. There's our screenshot. See you later.